Welcome to Game On, presented by KIG Insurance. I'm Drew Miller. This is a video series all about promoting small businesses. I have a great guest today. This is a fun one for me. Not only is he a business owner, but he's a hockey guy. I love talking to hockey people. He is the founder of 44 Vision Hockey, an online coaching platform. He is currently still playing pro hockey in Latvia for HK Mogo, and he had a great stint in North America playing for the Islanders, Atlanta Thrashers, and the Edmonton Oilers. Game On viewers, help me welcome Rob Schremp. Robbie, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to see you again. I think we started chatting before this, and it's been a long time. We met each other back at Dale Dunbar's when we were kids, and kind of both making our paths to where we made it to in the NHL. But back in those days, that was cool going to those development camps, get a chance to meet you, and come full circle to come on this called podcast or this conversation with you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the hockey world's a small world, so we always take care of each other and do what we can. So I'll do as much as I can to get the word out to help you out. And so yeah, my goal is to get as much information about 44 Vision Hockey as possible out to the viewers. So first things first, just explain who, what 44 Vision Hockey is, and yeah, we'll go from there. So what do you got?
Cool. Yeah, 44 Vision is, I started working with a couple pro players with their game film and going over it and just cutting it up and putting my insights into it and seeing where they could kind of capitalize. And from there, I kind of wanted to have a bigger impact. So I started talking to some friends and talk to some of the girls on the women's side to see if they'd be interested to give their knowledge back to the women's game. And then I started talking to some ex-teammates, and it's, kind of snowballed into 35 coaches on a platform, and they're all very highly resumed people in the sense of where they played in the game: AHL, NHL, European, the women's side, Olympic team members, NWHL participants. So we have some great knowledge, and it just kind of bringing that resource onto one platform to give back to these players through game film. That was the idea. There's a lot of people out there with skills development and doing camps, and that sort of thing. I thought a big thing through my course, my career, what I thought could have been different was that more individual one-on-one game film stuff. What's actually happening in the game. And maybe you can contest this too, Millsy, is like some of the stuff you do on the ice and drills, you kind of wonder, like, where does this translate into the game sort of thing? Where if you do game breakdown and go through the scenarios in the actual game with those players, you're like, this is the situation where you could, be better in or execute in or whatever it might be, shot blocking, show them techniques, I think that's the one thing as a guy that's gone through, or any of us that have gone through our past, we've all had a unique path and a long path, and you get to meet new people, learn new things, you collect all this information. And once you're done with the game, this is an opportunity to circle back and put that back into the players that are into it now. I hope that's not too long story long, but
no, that's great. I mean, it's I think it's great what you got going here and what it's built into. So what type of hockey people are using this, and who should be using that? Who's out there, young kids or pros? Just explain who's using it right now and where the hockey people are out there who should be using it.
Yes, so it's a certain level of play. I would say we did 11U girls team, which was, we did a pilot with them, 5 players, 5 of our coaches, and it really translated well. I'll be honest, I was nervous at first because it was, we launched in May, so you're kind of learning as you go a little bit, but I was nervous going into that one, but it really actually translated well. The rink's the same size, the nets are in the same place, so a lot of the information is transferable. It's just a matter of, if we're talking about players that are, 10U that need more like skating work and that kind of thing, edge work, I don't believe there's a huge benefit from grabbing game film and going over scenarios, right? That's more somewhere where you want that player, give them the help of, say, go to your private coaches or go to your camps. Mm-hmm. Or if you got the, 10 or 11-year-old AAA player who kind of, has those tangible skating, stick handle, and shooting, you can give them this information. So we have had players at 11U and then all the way up into pro. So some NHL guys been working with and some pro guys in Europe. So it's really unique in that sense, where you can interject in a large range of age. It's very exciting because it gives us the ability to have a big impact on the game.
No, for sure. I think it's something that I wish when I was playing, you had this going so I could learn how to not maybe dump the puck in a certain way and change.
You're awesome at it though.
No, it's so right now we have a great advancement in hockey itself, but for women's pro hockey is a huge advancement right now in our sport that's long overdue, and it's something that I think is very exciting for our sport. So just talk about how 44 Vision Hockey is being a part of that movement to promote women's hockey.
Yeah, I think it's really important to help the women's game in the sense of these girls that are high level Olympic team members, NWHL players, professional players, PWHPA players. Give them a chance as coaches to also make a living out of this as well, and then circulating their knowledge back in the game is really important. I feel like that exists a little bit more on the men's side as far as opportunities for them to go back in the game and get paid to be coaching, sort of thing. I don't see that much for the women's side. So this platform was somewhere where I just thought it's huge for the game, because the game is starting to grow in the numbers. And now in my opinion, what it needs is like to have those high level girls that are at the top of the game circling back and helping these young girls out and advancing their knowledge of the game and advancing the way, the hockey IQ of it, the real game scenario situations, how to execute. I think that's what will be a big value. So that's really why I got interested in it. And I thought when I started watching the women's game and seeing where it's at, that's my opinion on what it needs, is like that growth part of it and advancement in the game. And this is a huge thing when you got an Olympic team member, Amanda Pelkey, or PWHPA player, Blake Bolden, or NWH. I go down all the lists. Those girls have so much knowledge and experience in helping these girls out in the game scenarios. It's no different than the men's or women, but I think that's the growth piece that I thought would be very beneficial for two parts of it: the girls to make some money, and then the girls that are underneath those mentors, or the customer using that coach is going to be able to advance their game.
No, I think that's great, and I think to have a young girl to be able to look up to someone, have an idol, and then be able to get on a platform with them and say, hey, you've made it to this level, and I've seen you win a gold medal or be in the Olympics or playing pro hockey for women, and they're able to be in a position to give back and really work with these young girls on their skills. What a cool thing to have. So to kind of expand off this a little bit, just kind of touch on a success story that you've had someone using your platform and coming on and them really benefiting to their game of hockey.
Yes, so I had Thomas Mikas, a Czech Liga player. His game's come a long way, and he's gone from 10, 12 points a year. This is my second year working with him. Now he's sitting at 18 points already this year, and there's still 15 games left. So the thing that it's really kind of advancing and getting better is he's getting more scoring opportunities in the games, and he feels more confident. Now he's turned into a power play guy. He was a fringe power play guy when I got him. I don't want to take credit like that, but like once we started working together, he was once in a while getting chucked out there on the power play, and now he's the first unit power play guy, and he's really taking control of the game. And the messages that we have with each other are really what's gratifying to me. And it's like, he's thank you, and my game's come such a far way. So hearing those words for me is really gratifying, and I love that part of it, of helping and opening up a new look at the game for this player and any player that I work with, just giving them new things to see. And then when it starts to get executed and their confidence level goes up, it makes me really happy. It's a great gig. I'll say that.
No, that's awesome. And it's always good for people to hear those success stories, because they're wondering, hey, if I sign up for this, like I'm on your platform, okay, I got a coach that's made it. And then it's always nice to hear that, hey, this person's done it. They've found a lot of value out of what you're providing, and then they've translated that into actual points and improvement in the lineup for their game. And I think that's what everyone's going to come on here for, is to better themselves, and to hear a success story. That's huge. So that's awesome to hear that you're helping him in that way. So we talked a little bit about the coaches and where their background is. Just talk about like when someone signs up for this, how are they paired with a coach, and how that process works.
So when they come on, they get the choice of 3 coaches, and then by availability. So if the first coach they pick is busy, then they go to selection 2 or 3, whatever one fits. So that from there, that the coach, they set up a Zoom call between each other and get the introduction going and figure out kind of what they want to work on in their game, where their game's at, and gives the coach a chance to learn the player a little bit. So as a coach, you're not going into it blind and just trying to figure it out on the fly. It gives you a chance to get to know that player a little bit, what they want to work on. And then you can, when we get the game film, we can narrow focus on that and start, really getting into it, how we can help them. From there, we just get a session. The players get once payment is processed, then they get a login library, and that's where the coaches take their game film cut the clips, put the clips up into that library, and the players get to study it and just learn from it. And then it's on the coach's discretion, but if for me, I'll do the clips, send them to the player, and then set up another Zoom call to go over them together so we can have that back and forth. And it's more of a collaboration, and it helps the players really gather the information that I'm passing to them. And I really want to help it stick and again, have that conversation. So it's not just the coach telling you what to do. It's more like, do you see this? And then the player says what he saw or what he thought. And then you give him a little bit more depth to the conversation and to the clip and to the game scenario. So it's really going to land.
No, I think it's great. And I think this is something that the young kids are going to eat up and really thrive in their sport and on their teams, is separating themselves. So very cool. So one last question for you. You created this great platform. You're trying to help the next players coming on up. And like you said, you circle back around and giving this knowledge. So what is one of your greatest hockey memories that really does drive you to help other players?
I would say growing up in Syracuse, New York, with the guy named Don Kernan, and Donnie Kernan, his son, Donnie Kernan Jr., the way that they mentored me. And actually, Tim Conley came up from that same area, and he was my kind of idol growing up. Him and Matt Murley, my two idols, and the way that they helped me develop my game and gave me all the knowledge that they had catapulted me, because I was a house league player until 10 years old. I was literally just playing. It was not house league, but like that small town travel hockey. And then once I got in with Donnie and his dad, it really catapulted my game. So without that resource, I never would have made it. And I believe that thoroughly. So with the platform, that was the idea, is to like take our knowledge, collection of knowledge and experience, and basically anywhere that anybody has game from, we can expand that and help these players with that knowledge and that download of information to give them a chance, the best chance we possibly can. And that's what really drives me, was those two people inspired me, gave me ice time like unbelievable. And their knowledge that they shared with me, it gave me so much confidence in my game, and those new ideas and those that new information is what gave me the confidence in my game to take it from house league to AAA to OHL to eventually being a first round draft pick in NHL. It was really off that backbone of those guys. So I want to be that for other people in the game. And again, I want to do it in a scaled size and offer that for other coaches, something for them to stay in the game and keep the game growing and expanding and being a resource for people. So that's my motivation with it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's a great thing. Obviously, you're doing it for a monetary reason as well, but it really is a passion. It sounds like you have the experience and the knowledge to pass on. So I think it's a great platform, and I think one thing that the viewers out here, if you're a parent or a kid looking to do this, or even a pro athlete that's looking to do a little bit more, is the game is so close, and it's not big things that separate players, it's the little things. So you come on this platform, you're going to learn those little things. They're going to separate you just that little bit to where you go from a third line player to a second line player, or a second to the first, or a second power play to the first power play. It's those little things that separate you. And I know that this type of platform is going to help players get that edge. And it's as we get higher up, players kind of trickle away, and you're going to be one of those players that continues to make it and move up in the ranks. So very cool platform. I appreciate you coming on. Game On viewers, let's make sure we check out the other videos to help the small businesses. And Robbie, cheers, man. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's great seeing you, and I appreciate the plug and the help out. And this was a great conversation. I appreciate you very much, and we'll stay in touch.
Sounds good, man. Thanks.